Hello, and welcome to Motivational Mondays. I have here with me the lovely Rosalyn.
Hi, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh,
But no, I absolutely love her. I think we met at like maybe a Posh and Sip, I think it was.
yeah.
He was just like so friendly, so down to earth, willing to help. I just liked her. I mean, she was great from the start. So
Love you too. Aw.
I said, I got good night.
Hi, Mariana. I know.
Well, hello.
Hi, Mariana.
But anyway, so that's Rosalyn, and she's here with us tonight. And we're just going to be talking about like work life balance and things that are going to help you, obviously, within your business. This is Motivational Mondays every Monday night. I do this here on YouTube at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And tonight, I went on ahead and pulled up a couple of links because I know that Rosalyn is like she's an affiliate also for List Perfectly, which is a listing platform that you can get all of your listings out to different platforms, basically a cross listing app that helps you get all of your listings out to different platforms. It's wonderful. You can get 30% off using her code.
Hey, Herco.
Use Mag.
We are in the same team. We are in the same team, okay?
Ignore me, but I do see sales in your future if you do it, because I'm telling you, I mean, you when you agree, like, did it not help you? Like, oh, wait a minute, let's talk about that. I mean, I know everybody kind of wants to know a little bit about you, but let's just talk. Let's just start off with Poshmark. Like,
Yes,
that's where you started. I know your story said that your daughter introduced you to, you know, okay, your bio.
Yeah, so back in 2016, that's why I first downloaded Poshmark on my phone. And it was because my daughter wanted these Converse, and she said, "Oh, they have them in Poshmark, and I think they're you can buy them cheaper there, whatever." And I said, "Oh, okay, let me just go ahead and download the app." Well, I never bought those Converse because grandma, abuela, decided to buy it for her. So I was like, okay. So I kept looking in the app, and I was like, I have a lot of shoes.
Yes.
I have a lot of stuff that I can list. And I started listing, and I was like, oh my God, I liking this because I was selling everything. And one of the things that I was in love, like the sale that made me also love the app was one of my daughter's dresses for homecoming dress or junior prom, I think it was. It sold like very fast after I listed, and that's when I was hooked. Like, because at the time I was a stay-at-home mom. Like, we can go on.
Right.
But I married very young. I'm gonna be celebrating 25 years with my husband the 22nd of this month.
Mm-hmm.
We've been together for a long time. I was very young when I got married. That's another show. And I decided to stay home because we moved from Puerto Rico to New York. I was pregnant with my daughter. My oldest one was 11 months old. Like, I decided at that time, since he was working full time, to raise the kids, and my life was put aside because I dedicated my whole self to them. I that's what I decided to do, right? I was young, and I had to prove everybody wrong that I wasn't gonna be just this mom that was crazy and she got married and she was young. So my whole almost my their whole life I was there doing PTA, being a homeroom mom. Like, I was hands on with them. Like, I was doing everything. Okay, I was Uber, I was taking them to sport, whatever. When I found Poshmark, it was a relief, and kind of like I needed that to come to my life at that moment, because my oldest was entering college, my daughter was almost graduating high school. So I had the little one, but I wasn't that active anymore. So I felt kind of like an emptiness when you stay home. I don't know if that happens to you, but I'm sure I can relate with other moms that stay home, that you want to do something, but you also want to stay home with your kids and do other things. And that's, I think, why I became so passionate about Poshmark, because that was I said, oh my God, why I didn't find this before?
Yeah.
You know? It was perfect, just staying home, selling things from my own home, because I didn't buy anything at the beginning. Everything that I was selling was coming from their closet, my, you know. And I think that's why everything started, because I needed that at that moment, and I found it at the right time.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it was for me, but I did eventually, like you said, you get tired of just being at home by yourself. Like, I was listening quite a bit, and because I'm the type of person that'll work from sun up to sundown, but it's kind of bad because then, you know, I'm tired, or I don't want to do this, or I'm not available for family. That's why I made this like a work-life balance, because it is important to actually have that, you know, and that's what starting with Instagram personally for me gave me more of a work-life balance, because I'm able to be a part of the community and, you know, network and talk to other people and stuff like that. And, you know, to do your business stuff as well. So you're not just doing one thing. It's not like lopsided, and then your focus kind of gets off track, you know, because I just get so into my work, you know, like, hey, I called you earlier. Oh yeah, you did call. You know, I'm like over here just work. Right. But I wanted to say hi to everybody that was in the chat. Mariana, I'm sorry, is here. Evolving Always. Terry is here. Veronica is here. Welcome. And I think Call It Favor said she came over from Sarah's channel, because I was just watching Sarah Styles. Yeah.
I love Sarah too.
That was a wonderful chat that she was having tonight. Welcome everybody. Just interviewing here, Rosalyn. She is awesome. And let's talk about her awesomeness on TikTok. Oh my God. Oh my God. TikTok. But you know what? Actually, I had one other question. I just thought of it for Poshmark. And I was like, if you had to give like one tip before we get off of Poshmark, what would you say like would be a good tip? I don't know if you want to say a tip in general, or if you want to do like a tip for sales, because, you know, everybody wants to get more sales.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They over here offer.
That's what matters. Well, yeah, let's just do a tip on sales. For me right now, I'm a part-time reseller. I'm not gonna compare myself to full-time reseller, because, you know, that won't be realistic. I won't be realistic. But I want to say something. I definitely been keeping myself up, since I don't have too much time, right? I don't have too much time to be listing like before. I also do, you know, re-enlist. If I don't have new inventory, I try to, if the item is too old, remember, you can still do the copy listing, because it will just go up to newly listed.
Right.
That won't work if the listing is a month old.
Right.
It has to be 3 months and older, something like that. If
somebody, it's not too hard to do that. Like, even if it isn't old enough to do it, it's not very hard to still do a relist. It doesn't take very long.
Yeah. And I will say, if you're gonna do that, if you haven't started doing this, what I do now is I have at least 2 different cover photos for that listing. Because if you want to switch it and refresh that listing, then you don't have to take a photo again. Okay. And I also, since, you know, last year, I started using Photo Room free.
Yeah.
What I did with my old photos, I haven't finished my whole closet, but I started with the old things. I changed the cover photo with Photo Room to make the background white, and you don't have to pay for it. And that's what I would say. Just try to take, you know, the little time you have, just do it smartly, right? Try to refresh your old listing and try to re-list those items. And what I do to list new items on the weekends, most of the time, I take a bunch of pictures. And I know a lot of people do this. I take a bunch of pictures, right? Yeah. They are in my phone. If I can start that day, I start listing one or two, but then I keep listing throughout the week. You know what I mean? So since I work full time during the week, then I have less time to work. So I already have the pictures. It's easier for me to keep listing. And while you do that, it's good because then you're keeping your closet fresh, if you know what I mean. Like you have new listings almost every day without having to go to do all the work, on Monday to, during the week. Hey, Carla. Thank you for coming. So that's my number one tip. I've been doing it, and I'm not saying I'm comparing myself with the Poshins or whatever, but I'm selling things. I'm not dry like some people, and I know it's hard. I have days that I don't sell anything.
Uh-oh. And I wonder, is that on her end or mine?
What happened?
It kind of, it
Are we
froze.
okay?
Oh, there we go. I was like, I didn't know if it was on your end or mine. I was just like, it'll kink up sometimes, but then it comes back. It's mine too. Like I'm looking at my signal. It doesn't look like I have that great of a signal myself. Unfortunately, like a newer development. So I only have 2 bars at all times. It's bad. Yeah. Like when it was snowing, it was really bad then too. Like you couldn't get a signal on your own for your life. Like you had to, I guess because so many people trying to get the signal at the same time, nobody could really get on. You couldn't even, but anyway, that's another story. We're gonna move on. Let's talk about TikTok. Hey Rhonda done showed no, but TikTok, I was scrolling through some of your TikToks. I know you post some of them. But I wanted to see if what I was missing. I was like, let me go over here because I don't get on it because honestly, TikTok is addictive. I'll stay on there for hours and just be scrolling and scrolling. And I was like, I cannot, because even yours, I was like, I mean, I was looking through them like I don't know, I really love watching them. Hey, Leslie, welcome. We love 1431. Leslie,
how are you?
But anyway, yeah, so like TikTok is so fun. I mean, and I don't say don't get on it, but just be intentional. Like, be like, all right, I'm going to spend 15 minutes and actually spend 15 minutes. You will be on there like scrolling through. But she's really good at making these videos. I was like, have you hosted a class on it?
Yes, I hosted 2 different ones. Okay. And I also talk about reels on those. But I have one that I edited that is on my YouTube channel too. That was live. That was hard for me to edit because you know how it is when you want to edit a video.
Yeah.
That live was hard for me to edit, but I did. So it's if you go to my YouTube channel, it's the same name, Magnus Hips. There's a few tutorials, but there's also that live, that one of the lives that I did with the ladies. Everybody was there, so you can go and check it out. It's a long one, so
it's a rabbit hole. It can be a rabbit hole if you it's just like Clubhouse. If you let Clubhouse be a rabbit hole, it'll be a rabbit hole. If you don't take control of it and say, okay, I'm going to spend X amount of time, and this is the reason why I want to go in here today. I mean, even if it's just to go and see what's going on, then say I'm going to see what's going on for this amount of time.
You know what? That's one of the things that I had to let go. Because before, when I had the time, I was there for everybody. I was going to their YouTube live. I was going to their IG live. And I was trying to keep up with everybody else in the community because I really wanted to support everybody.
Right.
But let's be realistic. You know, I work full time. I try to do reselling part time. I want to grow my Instagram. I want to make some sales.
Right.
I cannot do it all.
Yes.
Because mentally, it will drain you. You know what I mean? And I also exercise. So, listen, when I get back from work, I drink a coffee. I probably wait 30 or 40 minutes.
Right.
Get changed, go to my basement to work out because that's part of my life. I've been working out forever. So if I don't do it, I would not feel myself.
Okay.
So I would not take exercising away. You know what I mean? That's something that I can just not. That's it. It has to be there. So I had to sacrifice that social time.
Yeah.
You know? And some people up, send me DMs like, "Oh my God, where have you been?" Like, but I'm sorry, but I just can't do it all. And if I want to do my job right, I have to sleep. I have to spend time with my husband. Like, I have sometimes.
Right.
My daughter she doesn't live with me. She's 23 years old. She used to 23. But she needs time to talk to mom because we have a good relationship. Sometimes she just wanna, let it out and say this happened at work, whatever. My oldest one just left to Germany. Like yesterday, I couldn't socialize and I couldn't do all the things that I had planned because I had to have family times. I had to spend time with the husband. So before, in the past, I was very hard on myself, and I used to feel like, oh my God, like, but I had to let it go. I had to learn to prioritize. It's hard to say that word. Prioritize. And just try to do as much as I can. So last weekend, I had planned to do 3 videos. One of them was a tutorial and 2 TikToks. One that I did on Reels, one that I did on TikTok. And I couldn't do the tutorial. I did the 2 TikTok. I took some pictures. But then I said, you know what? I couldn't do the tutorial. It's okay. That's going to have to wait until maybe this week. I'm going to feed it somewhere. And I write everything down. I try to have a list.
That's good.
But I won't feel bad if I don't finish it. You know what I mean? It's there. And whenever I got time, then I keep follow. I follow and do the next task that I have. So I think being organized. I'm not saying that I'm 100% organized, but I put alarms on my cell phone. Like I use my cell phone a lot. I put alarms for me and reminders.
Yes.
Like today, I have a reminder for your life. Mentally, if I'm organized, I feel better.
Yes.
If I don't put it on my calendar or write it down, most of the time I use my cell phone for everything. Like,
yeah,
you can check my notes; they're like endless. Anyway, so even post, that's another way of organizing, like the post that you have to do on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I kind of plan what I'm gonna post. Oh, thank you, Carla. You too. You are the best.
Are you gonna do another one? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are you gonna?
You know what? I don't know.
You get in there. I'm like, look.
I was in Clubhouse the other day, and somebody wants to know more about Reels.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should do just one on Reels, because now people.
Yeah.
I mean, to tell you the truth, I love TikTok. Reels need to add so many things to Reels.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't have the same tools. Like TikTok is so easy to use. Like when you compare it to Reels, like and I can use both.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love TikTok. So I don't know. Maybe I do it on both, like I did last time. We'll see if I get a crowd.
Right, but then you don't get all those features. It's so many more, I think, features that you can use. I mean, watching my daughter work TikTok, I was like, oh wow.
How is she? How is your daughter?
Like, oh my God, I can't believe you can do so many things with this. It is amazing.
How old is your daughter?
13.
Oh, yeah. That's the age. Oh, that's
little dances and stuff.
They can talk people can talk bad about TikTok, but I think because I opened my TikTok account back in 2019, right? So nobody was kind of like using TikTok. If you go down, you're gonna see that I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. But I started with pictures, and then 2020 came, and we were so needing an outlet. that was my outlet. I think that's why I became so good at it, because that was one of my outlets. Like, I love dancing, I love music. So, and I'm very creative. So that's what TikTok is. And you don't feel judged on TikTok, right? You don't feel judged because whatever, everybody's doing it.
It doesn't even matter. I feel like you feel more. I mean, even though I don't really use it like that, I've only done like a couple of them, and the channel doesn't have hardly, I mean, it's really, or I don't know what I want to call it, a channel or what it is, my TikTok or whatever, doesn't really have anything on it, but you do feel, I think, less pressure. I mean, because once you get to a certain point, people are expecting a certain thing. So you're trying to give them more of what you've been expected to give sometimes. But I've just gotten to a point to where if a post gets 30 likes or if it gets 100 likes or whatever, I don't really care anymore, because I have to just put out what's on my heart, and whatever's in there, I just let that come out, and whatever it is, just roll with it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, that's too bad. You know, like
You are 100% what you said. They can tell if they're here. What some of my Latina friends, that's what I said. Just go for it. Don't think about it. Do whatever the heck you want, because that's what I did. Like, I went with the flow.
right.
Everybody was like, "Oh my God, you're doing TikTok," but I started doing it without knowing what I was doing. You know what I mean? Right. So I just kept doing it. Like, you know what? Who cares? Listen, I learned this too late in my life, but I do not care whatever anybody says. You know what I mean? Like, at this point in my life, like, you know what? I just want to be happy. I just want to do whatever I love, and I want to put it out there, and whoever's going to like it, then great. Those are the people you need, right? Like,
true, you need
people who are hating. They have time to, I guess, hate. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, let me tell you, I don't. I just live my life, put the post there. Like, oh well.
Okay, it's no room for that in what I do. Let's just put it like that. I don't even have. It doesn't come up. It never even, the thought to do so doesn't even enter my brain. So I'm just like, I don't know. When I hear about it, I'm just like, it's just kind of sad that they even have the time, because I don't really think about it anymore. Like, I just naturally, I'm just a go-getter naturally. That's just the way it is.
Now, I think that's how we were raised. Like, my mom, I came from divorced parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very independent since I was a little girl, because I was the youngest. One of my brothers was a problem child. The oldest one wasn't. But I guess since they had to give more attention to him, I was always doing the things that I had to do, you know? And that's why I'm more kind of like, I don't pay attention to haters, because I'm like, you know, there's no time for that. Like, we don't have time. And I'm not saying that I get haters. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have haters, but
you don't get any like messages these DMs that are just awful.
I experienced some things. I'm not gonna lie. I experienced things, right?
Yeah.
But I don't see them as a big deal. Like, people walk away from your life and you have to let them. You know, friendships sometimes go, you know, in different directions. And I don't see it as hate. I just see it like, hey, you know, with different people, we have different opinions, and that's okay. You know, I'm not gonna hate that person just because she thinks different than me or whatever. It's okay. You know, I wish her well. Like, I really do. Like, that doesn't take anything away from me. So, hey.
No doubt about it. I was going to ask you, I know this is like, because you're a mom, and I mean, I have one child. I have my favorite things about being a mom, but what is your favorite thing about being a mom? Like, you know, it teaches you a lot, definitely patience, but what is your favorite thing about actually being?
You know, this is even good for you because you're younger than me. I'm 41 years old. And maybe you're not seeing it.
I'm 37. I'm right behind you.
So I was gonna say, see, sometimes when they're younger, you kind of like wish like, oh my god, how their life are going to be, how their life are going to turn out, and you always worry, right? You always worry when they're younger how. And having my son going to Germany, he's in the military, and maybe he was always a good student, but we kind of struggled when he was in high school, just because he was a teenager, he wanted his freedom. There was that drama that at the time I was like, oh my god, where things are gonna go, from here. But now I see him and I'm like, it makes me cry just to see him doing his own thing. I'm proud. Like, I think that makes me feel happy when they're doing well, when they're responsible and they're being independent. I'm like, I miss him. Don't get me wrong, I miss him a lot. But see, that's what I love about being a mom, that all the struggle, all the sacrifices I did for them, not that it's their fault or whatever. I'm just saying, for me, it's a big satisfaction seeing them grow and seeing them go out and do their own life.
Right.
And same with my daughter. She's living by herself and she's working full time. She graduated college last year. I was like, I never went to college. I attempt to go to college, but I never did. I just went for English classes, but I never went to do.
And that's something when they get to do something or experience things that you didn't get to get. Always great, I
feel that's what I want. Like let's say, okay, me and I have a lot to thank to my husband. My husband is being a great partner. Like, he's being wow. Yes, I'm not saying we're a perfect couple, because we've been married for almost 25 years, and we go up and down, and but we've been for such a long time together that I don't know what I would do without him by my side, because he's part of this. He's part of the team.
Right.
So I see my kids growing up and being independent. I think that's the best satisfaction that you can get as a mom. So I still have the little one that I call, that he's going to be 18 the 25th. And he still, make me worry sometimes, because you always worry. Not that he's doing well. He's a great kid, but you always worry when they go out in the world and they get tempted and they get, things that you wish that they don't go through. And I think that's the hardest part, to worry. Even though they're adults, I still worry about them. The other day, my daughter said, "Oh, I'm gonna go out. Can you take me to the Barry?" Which is the Brave Stadium. It has like restaurants and bars and all that. And she wanted me to be the Uber, because she didn't want to pay. She wanted to pay half of the fare. And I said, "Okay, I'll take you there," because it's 20 minutes from my house. But still, when I was dropping her off, she's 23, but I was worried. I was like, so yeah, I think I said the bad part about being a parent is that you're never gonna end. Yeah, the worriness is never gonna stop.
It never ends.
But it's good to see them grow and become good adults, And I think that's what made me happy, to see their achievements, right? To live with them. And hey, I'm proud. I'm a proud mom. Even though I was 16 when I had my oldest one,
I'm gonna.
It's still possible, still possible to have great kids.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what I guess I'm looking forward to, since she's 13 and I'm not 100% sure if I'm even gonna start all over again and have another one. So I'm like, but I do worry about what she can get in trouble with now that she's a teenager. So, so much more, that they can do. So it's the older they get, that's the issue. You know what I mean? Like, it gets the life seriousness of the decisions are a lot, they carry more weight. like the consequences of you drawing on the couch when you were a baby, you know what I mean? Like versus the consequences of you going out and, I don't know, engaging in sexual activity now. You know what I mean? Now I got to worry about you could have.
And I talked to my daughter very young about it, and I was very open about her sexual life just because I became, I was pregnant when I was 16, and it was a different time, and my life was different from her, but I tried to have that communication since she was very young because I wanted her to know the right things. You know what I mean? Right. I didn't have that. It was hard to talk to my mom about a boyfriend or sex. She was always like, no, you cannot have a boyfriend. She.
Right. Mine too. You can't.
And then, my personality was, okay, if you shut me down, I'm going to hide and do it.
Right.
That's how it was. I ended up having I wasn't a bad child. I'm not saying that I was a rebel because I wasn't. Right. But if you tell me no, then I realize that now I will do it anyway. You know what I mean? I will just find a way to have my boyfriend, and I'm gonna see him even if you don't want me to see him.
Yeah.
So I try to have an open relationship with Caroline, my daughter, just because I wanted that for her. And very early on, I said, if you are, they're so sweet. If you are gonna have sex, I want to know.
Right.
I want you to have the things that you need. You know
what, too, Rosalyn? I think if you don't trip when they bring things to you and you don't trip off of it, you can't have a hissy fit because it's not what you want them to do. That is a problem. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's where I really try to work on that. When she does bring it to me, even if I don't like it, don't have a hissy fit immediately. Sometimes that's easier said than done, but I do try, like, I try to work on that and try not to do that because that's what causes them not to want to have that relationship with you, not to want to tell you anything. Or if you have the gift of the gab and you telling everybody after they tell you something, they generally obviously don't like that. So, I used to have that with my mom. I'd be like, oh, then I worry that if I tell her, then she's going to tell this person and that person and everybody's going to know. I don't want that. I just want us to have, I just want to tell her, you know what I mean? So those are the two things. I think don't blow up. You couldn't be assertive and stress the importance of whatever you feel, however you feel on the topic, but just try not to blow up because then they're not going to want to tell you. They're like, oh my gosh, she's going to kill me.
Yeah.
Literally.
About my mom. She was gonna kill me all the time. So and my mom used to hit hard. Like my parents, not my dad, because my dad, he left when I was 8 years old. But my mom, if she was gonna hit you, you're gonna feel it. So I was raised with a spank and a belt. So I was scared of her.
Okay.
I didn't want to get hit by the belt. So yeah.
Yeah. I used to get spankings. I even got one as a teenager, unfortunately, which was kind of weird because it's not the same as when you're a child. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, yeah, my mom definitely believed in don't be sparing that fraud. You spoil the child. So I agree. I made sure that my son could communicate, and I do not flip out. So he does. I could not talk with my mom. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like when you do it, you don't have that line of open communication. Right. Rhonda says, right, keeping the lines of communication open is important. Exactly. Like that way you can be on the inside, and maybe if something was getting ready to happen, I can't believe this happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you probably had an opportunity to affect that early on had you had better communication with your child. So I think that's important. But we're going to switch gears just a little bit. And I know, we both love List Perfect.
Perfectly. Oh, my right there.
I wanted to talk about, you said that, okay, you do Poshmark is still bae for you. Poshmark is still for you. But for me, eBay is bae. I don't know why. I guess because it's the first platform that I started on. But like I said, they do like a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I know List Perfectly helps you get some of that stuff done. Mm-hmm. How are you using List Perfectly? Like what platforms are you using it to cross list on? Or are you back just doing Poshmark?
No, I actually do Mercari and eBay.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think Mercari is the second one for me.
Oh,
The second one, I would say, and eBay is the third platform that I like.
okay.
And it's not that I don't dislike eBay.
Yeah.
Just that eBay has changed so much,
It
and
always does. They're always doing something.
they complicated things for me. And I'm like I said before we were live, we opened an eBay account back in 2006. So it was so simple back then. I don't know why. But I don't make that many sales on eBay. Most of my sales come from Poshmark and Mercari. And eBay, yes, I get sales, but it's not a lot. Just because I haven't put up the time. Like I said before, when I was doing this full time, I had Depop, Etsy. I went crazy and opened all these accounts. And I said, I want to be realistic. When I started working full time back in October, I said, I have to focus on at least 3 platforms. But most of the time, it is so much easier to just cross post from Poshmark to Mercari. I don't know if you feel the same way. When you cross post from Poshmark to Mercari on Bliss Perfectly, so easy. Then I know some people do it on eBay first just because you have to fill out more. And I agree.
It is.
Yeah. And you can do it that way too, right? Because if you love eBay, like you said, then you are doing it that way, right?
Do Poshmark and Mercari, and then if you don't feel like doing eBay at the time, you can do that last. I mean, you go back and do eBay, because like what I'll find myself doing is because I'll be like, listen, after I done took photos, especially if I did all this in one day, I edited the photos, I ran them, washed them through, photo room or whatever I wanted to do with the photos. I did that, and then I went on ahead and went to go do the listing. Well, if I started in eBay, then I'm going to push to eBay first, and then obviously I would be pushing it out. That's how I usually do it. I just do eBay first, because if I was to build the listing in List Perfectly, to me it seemed like I would be pushing it out 4 times. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not going to build it in List Perfectly, then push it over to eBay. Then I'm not doing all this. Put this too much.
I have catalogs on List Perfectly, but like you said, because the good thing about building the catalogs on List Perfectly is that from there you can cross post right to the other platforms, and that worked too. But it depends what you like, right?
You attempt to,
Yeah. So I think that's what I like List Perfectly, because you can use it any way you want to use it. Whatever works for you, you can do it either way. You can do it from there, or you can do it from any other platforms. So when I got into List Perfectly, let me tell you, my life changed, just because I was doing that, like copying and pasting. I was dragging myself. I was like, I have to do all this. Now it's like boom, boom, boom. You open all those windows and it's done. Like, that's it. People think that is so, probably they're like, oh my God, these people are trying to sell me List Perfectly, but it's not. Like, it is easier, let me tell you. Even if you're doing this full time, because I know one of my I don't know if Carla's still here. She do this full time, and she uses this perfectly because since she's doing it full time, she's listing. So even if you're doing it full time, it will help you, because you will save time on cross posting and then having more time to list and take pictures. You know what I mean? And like for me, since I'm doing it part time, I don't have too much time. Right there, Carla. There you go. She's a reseller.
Exactly.
So I don't have too much time. Listen, I do that, and that's it. It's done.
Okay.
Worry about it. That's it.
Exactly. It's just faster. But a tip that I want to give, I mean, something actually. This is why I love the community. Like, I want to say that I just love IG community. We'll talk about that here in a minute too, but after I give this tip, but I got to give it because Matter of fact, I'm gonna give her name and everything. No, because I was talking to C the other day. I'm getting ready to do like a little a pop up shop with her, my first pop up shop. But
oh, that would be cool.
My point is, she was telling me because she's like the eBay queen, so I was like, you really need to do like an eBay show together, or you need to come on. She does like VA work and she does the listing and stuff like that for other people. And she's been on eBay for a long time. I don't know if it's 10 years plus or what, but I think it's over 10 years that she has experience with eBay. So she's already been through the up and down and all of that. And so anyway, she was telling me though, the tip is that I should not use Sell Similar, that I should use the drafts, which I did in the very beginning. Like I would do my drafts for shirts. I had drafts for pants. I had drafts for, men's athletic, whatever. I had a bunch of them. They're still there. That's what's crazy. They're all still there. I was like, because she said what happens is once you put that title in, remember that it's going to drop down all your specifics for the most part. Majority of that's going to be there. And then what's not there, the difference is with the Sell Similar, you could get confused because if you do a Sell Similar, then this shirt might be polka dot and it might be rayon, but the other one was polyester or whatever. And the characteristics was a Barbie and this is not a Barbie. You know what I mean? Like, so then you're having to go through and change all this stuff. Yeah. It's cleaner if you just would let it drop down what it can out of the title and then just add in the other stuff. And I started doing it that way. And then I would just copy in my SKU because my SKU is ridiculous. But but I would just copy in my SKU to that, like before I start my listing for that day, whatever haul or whatever I'm working on, I'd put that in there. So it's already there. And all I have to do is change one number. Or if it's a certain bin I want it in, I change the number in the bin and it works. But it's quicker. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, whatever will make my life quicker and more simple. It seemed like it was less confusing for me too. Like, and I wasn't going to do it because I'm kind of stubborn. No. Ain't the best one. But I said I always will try anything. Like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. She said it's quicker. She's doing this listing stuff all the time.
You know that I do that with my husband equipment on eBay because I don't know what the hell the equipment does. Sometimes he just give me the details of the equipment and I'm like, I go and search for a similar one and copy from that one.
Okay.
Because I don't know information. Like, and I'm like, he's like, give it to me. He's like, okay, can you list it for me? He doesn't, sometimes he gives me the box. He have it. He's like, oh, the box is right there on the attic, whatever. And I can get it. But if I don't have the box, I'm looking at a console. I'm like, okay, I know the brand, but I don't know anything.
Okay.
So that's a great idea, great advice that you did because yes, it worked. When you don't know something, go search for something similar and just.
Okay. It was so much easier. I was just like, okay,
it is.
That made.
Especially when you don't know when you don't know too much about what you're selling, other people's listing can help you. So
no doubt about it, and so I was just like, okay, see, this is why I love the community. We know that it's Women's Day today, so everybody, I was like so excited about it. I didn't even know until I got online. Like if I got online, the first post was like Women's Day. I was like,
my friends, I have the Latina friends here, Carla, Mariana. I usually say good morning to them first, but this morning was Monday. You know how it is. And I saw the pictures they sent. I'm like, happy international. I'm like, oh my God. And then my dad sent me a quote in the picture. I was like, oh my God, wait. So that's how I find out too. Then I saw everybody's post. Because I leave so early to work, sometimes I don't have too much time to be scrolling down on Instagram. Right. The only thing that I have there is the draft that I leave for the next day to use. If it's not a video, then
yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. The community though is it's just amazing. I know what you were saying about it taking. I think that. For some people on IG, it really is a job for them. But for me, I love it. And I have to stop myself from continuing to just engage. Literally, like I have to change. That's why I said I have to kind of be more intentional when I go on there because I love it, and so I'll just be like, I'm just still liking and sharing and.
Yeah, and I'm the same way, and I want to do it. See, but while I'm at work, I'm forced not to look at my phone. Unless, I'm during my lunchtime, I have time to just go for a little bit and do it. But then after work, that's sometimes when I drink my coffee, that's when I go and try to answer messages and,
That's what I was saying.
Share back the love, because you have to do that.
Right.
How you grow your Instagram, you have to give to receive, right? To get whatever. So
that's what I said. The best way to get support is to give it.
Right. Yeah, that was your post. I love that, and it's so true.
Yeah.
You don't expect people loving you to love your post or whatever if you don't do that. When I opened my Instagram back in 2017, just because of Poshmark, I went to a Posh and Sip, and I know a lady there said, "Oh, you should open an Instagram account, a business account, whatever." So I did, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was posting like things that I was selling, whatever, but it wasn't intentional because I didn't know what I was doing until way later. That's when I learned more, and then I started being more, intentional.
When did you figure out like how to do Instagram, or when did it like kind of come together where you actually were using it for more than just let me post my newest listing?
Yeah. I think it was a year after. I think it was maybe 2018, a year after I opened the Instagram. That's when I start, learning more. And also the Posh and Sips also help at the time.
Yes,
because you used to go, you meet different people, and you learn a lot from other people that, are reselling and using Instagram. So I think the combination of that and, day by day using it and seeing other people's posts, that's how then you're like, oh, wait.
Okay.
So then I really opened the Facebook business, link the two together, and you learn how to use them wisely, right? Because having those combined, that's what really is going to help you to do things that a regular account wouldn't do. So yeah, if you don't have a Facebook business page linked to your Instagram, then I don't know, whoever is here, just go do it because it helps a lot. So
you use like you do use your stories and stuff. You actually ask questions, call to actions, and all these things that I didn't know what a call to action was until I did the Teen Pizza Challenge, just to be quite honest. Like that's really where I learned all of the stuff that you probably should be doing, how to properly engage, because I didn't know that you needed to write questions in I didn't know anything like all that stuff. I didn't know because like I just was getting on there. I really just wanted to share my journey in whatever way possible and try to help people. And then obviously, if I can learn something in the process or meet somebody new, that was the whole purpose, to network, and that was it.
that was my intention too. Yeah. I wasn't
trying to get the swipe up. Like I'm getting close. I guess I'll get the swipe up, but whatever, like that's.
And it's not a big deal.
But I'm not running though. That's the thing. Like a lot of people are wanting to hurry up and get there. And I don't care about running to get there. I'm just trying to do what I normally do, let it fit in with what I'm doing versus try to make it like another thing that I have to worry about. That makes sense.
Now that you said that, when I hit the 10,000, it was back and forth because it was hitting the 10,000, then going down and hitting it. And I was like, great. And then I remember Leslie, I asked Leslie something about that. She's like, well, Rosalyn, welcome to the 10,000 because it's going to happen. Once you hit the 10,000, you're going to lose 900 followers one day. You're going to gain. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And now I'm like, I wanted the 10,000 just to have like everybody else. But I want to keep growing, right? Because we all want to grow. But it's not, yes, it's a tool.
Do you actually use it?
I'm using it, not every day, but I'm using it. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but if I was doing more, I guess for people that are constantly doing selling things, right? Online is better. Um, but I will try to incorporate more. Like when I was doing the push and sit, I did the swipe up for people to get tickets, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but since I learned how to do the catalogs to tag your posts, like it was kind of the same thing, because once you add those catalogs to the post, people that see your post can just click there and they take them, and that will take them to your store. So that's something else that even if you don't have the 10,000 followers, you can do. And that's what you want. You want people to go to your store. You know what I mean?
Right, but I like what Rhonda's saying about it's not it's best just to take your time in general. Like I just think not necessarily to rush. I mean, I think if Instagram you want that to be one of your main focuses, that's really I mean, I don't know how that's gonna really generate you some money like is a main focus. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know your business model, but for me, I have to dedicate a good chunk of my time more so. That's why when that 2 hours pops up on the phone, I really do consider, okay, I've been on here 2 hours a day. I really need to get off.
And I was doing that. I was being on Instagram way too much. That's how I built it. I'm not saying that it was wrong, because
Yeah,
that's how I built my Instagram,
I was too. Yeah.
because I was there a lot. But also, you know what helped me, and I still getting messages. If you do a bunch of tutorials, people love that. Even people that don't know you,
That's
uh, the post will reach, like the post will reach those people. I think most of the time when I do tutorials and I'm teaching something,
yes.
those for me those posts they reach people for longer. You know what I mean? Not
Still
just
getting likes later down.
you
Yeah.
will still, like when you do YouTube, right? It happens to you. You can still get messages and questions later from videos that you do. Like the most popular video that I have on my YouTube is how to do TikTok with pictures and adding text. I still get questions on that. That's the
That's funny.
most popular video on my channel. And because I'm teaching something, and that's it. That's the trick. You need to teach
Right. You
something in order to attract people to your Instagram or to your YouTube.
right.
And my YouTube, I haven't posted a new. That's what I wanted to do, a tutorial, because when I started YouTube, the main focus on my YouTube channel was to teach TikTok or whatever I my knowledge. I don't know, whatever is in my mind, I will just create a tutorial. And that's how I want my YouTube channel to be. Yes, I did a live with what's her name, Clara, which she's the CEO of Liz Perfectly. And
Mhm.
that was I felt so proud to have her in my channel. But I don't know. You do lives and you do it great. And I love to do them. It's just for me such a hard. You had to set it up. You had to, you know what? I'm a good teacher, and I can.
So easy to talk to. You're just, I don't know, you're just so relatable. It's ridiculous. Like, it's just so relaxed. But
Yeah,
I put her stuff in the chat, like,
thank you.
go and subscribe. I'm already subscribed to her channel, but you can subscribe.
You subscribe to Brittany. You bring such a positivity all the time, and I guess we can get along because we are like that. We're just very chill,
Chilling, right? That's
easy going, like, and that's the people that I want around me.
right, right,
Being real. Hey, I'm here.
right.
Almost time to go to bed, and I love to glam up. I love to get glam, and I love to dress up. But I also want to share my regular side. Like I'm a normal human being, and I love that people are real. You can tell when they're real. You know what I mean? So
That's true. That's true. Veronica says, I still don't know what the Team Pizza Challenge means.
I don't know what it is. Don't feel bad. I heard that on Instagram before, and I'm like, what the heck is the
What
Team
is
Pizza
this?
Challenge? I don't know, Veronica. I don't know what it is.
Explain it. Basically, every day it was created by Just Likes Pizza on.
Oh, yeah, I know her. Yeah.
Okay, most people that are on there pretty much know her.
Okay.
You know, her posts get like 500 likes in 5 minutes. No, anyway, like she's definitely grown since doing the Team Pizza Challenge, but and she's very bold. Now, not everybody is kind of like that, but my point is the challenge that she had was just where you would do different things every day. I think somebody else is doing something similar now, but it's kind of the same thing. But, each day of the week you do something different. Like today, you're going to do a call to action in your stories, and then your post is going to be something about yourself, or you're going to do a bio post, or like they just give you ideas on what to do. Kind of like you got a lot of tutorials out there that give you tips on how to do your IG stuff. Same. It's just something different every single day. And it was like a challenge because and then one day she was like, oh, you're going to go live. And I was like, I'm going live. I don't want to go live now. You know what I mean? Like but it really did challenge me. And then I stepped out of my comfort zone. That's how Motivational Mondays came about. And because I'm thinking back and I don't really remember other than I went live one day. Like that's the Motivational Mondays came about, and then I just went live and I kept going live. And so, I mean, now I have another live that I do. I actually have one, Success is a Mindset, tomorrow, Terry at Evolving.
Yeah, and I love the subject because I want to learn more too.
Me too. That's why I was like, can you please come on here and give us some tips? Because, honey, I need to be doing more investing. I'm great at saving, but I need to do more with the investing side of that. Don't just hold on to the money, but make your money work for you.
Yeah. I learned a lot from my husband because he's the one handling that part of the household. He invests himself. He do the research. Because my husband do very extensive research without, before he do something. But and my oldest one, he loves the Ethereum, the Bitcoin, all that. My oldest one, oh my God.
Yes.
But I also love to learn because when we sit down and talk, then me too, I love pizza.
Me too at first. I thought it was
so I think that's a good subject. I'm gonna try to tomorrow at 7, right?
Yes, it's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. I think Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, it's a good time for me.
I don't know the other ones all that well. I guess 7 p.m. in California, is it 5 p.m.?
5.
Pacific Standard Time. No, like get out of the 2 zones, the one right next door to me.
No.
Confused. You know what I'm saying?
You were talking about engagement. We also Terry's with this one. I don't have you been in one of those engagement clubhouse with Tanya and Terry? No?
I've never done it myself personally, but I know she was telling me something about it.
Yeah, those are good group. I have a lot of followers from being, engaging, and also sometimes go to a room, different room of non-reselling, because I love Clubhouse and I love to listen about reselling, but sometimes it's way too much for me.
Right.
It's way too much. I cannot be doing 12 hours of talking just about reselling. Like, I'm sorry.
Right.
And I don't want to offend anybody that does. Hey, everybody can do whatever they like to do.
Okay.
Right? But for me, that's way too much reselling. So I'm loving the 8 Eastern time. So we have an engagement group tomorrow this is the time. It is at 8:15 a.m. Pacific time and 11:15 Eastern time. So Terry is in it, is with Tanya. And it's been good it doesn't take a long time. You just have to be there. I think that's what I'm going to Clubhouse from now on, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, just because I do that. I do one on Saturday at 11:30 to do the engagement and meet new people in the community. So yeah, it's another rabbit hole.
Okay.
Veronica.
It can be, but it does not have to be a rabbit hole. If you go in there, because I did one day, but then one time I didn't. And that's like sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, because if the topic is really good, then sometimes you just can want to keep on listening, even though it's time to get off. You know what I mean? Like about something good. Like I think one day what the guy said something about having a mentor, tools, and like skills, I think was what he said was his top 3 on success tips, like what you should have, because you need to have certain skill sets and you need to have certain tools. I agree with all of that. All of that made sense to me. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, right. You know, I can dig it. So I kept listening. After he said that, he kind of had me. And I was like, let me see what else he has.
That was the hook.
Really was good though. Like what he had to say about mentorships and like investing back into yourself. That was important to me. Like, I mean, I believe in that myself. Like sometimes you can't always just learn it yourself, because I'm a strong, you know, like I want to learn everything myself or go through it selling. But some things you should go ahead and probably take the course on, because it'll get you light years ahead. That's all. And then have a mentor, have somebody that's already doing it. Why not? You know what I mean?
Like, that's true. That's why I try to share my knowledge, whatever I learn.
Right.
I just want to share. Why not? Like, I don't think nobody will be a competition in any way, just because we are all different. You know what I mean? And we do things differently. Even if I say, you know, you should do it this way, maybe when you try it, you find another way of doing it. So I love that. That's why, like you say, I love this community, because most of us are here to help each other, right? So
I see what she's saying. Veronica said she just feels overstimulated by
it is overwhelming sometimes. Yep.
It can be, because you have to make decisions. You're scrolling down, you're deciding whether you're going to like or not like or comment. You know, so that is all your mind is having to go. That's why, you know, I love the series Successes and Mindset. I actually talked about that in one of my videos. Maybe, you know, like you go in there and check it out. But basically it was talking about how, you know, we just live in a distracted world anyways. Like
we are.
You multitask all the time, and then you continue to do more of that. And then when it's time to do the deep work, like, you know, certain things you need to do in a different frame of mind, where it's one thing. You cannot do other things, but because you're so trained to do that, you find it difficult to do, if that makes sense. So if you're trying to write a book, I don't know, you might not be able to, you know, some people can't write the book because they're not used to doing this one thing at a time. I have to do this, and let me do, you know, like
let me check my phone.
You know, let me go cook, and let me do this, you know, like everything all at one time. So if, you know, but that's why I like to meditate. I don't know if you meditate, but I think I don't meditate for long periods of time, but like for 1 to 5 minutes, yes. And sometimes I'm actually, I don't know, maybe using vision, like what do they call it? Envisioning things, like, you know, it's not imaginary or anything, but it's like myself in the future. I do that because it makes me feel good. Like, you know, it's a break in my day, because sometimes you need like a break. You need to just like, I need to get out of here, out of this office. I can't wait until I can get my computer to keep like it. For some reason, when I try to do these chats on here, what happens is on the Mac, it'll say that the camera is not accepting or something. It doesn't want to accept me. I have to reset it every single time. If that is some kind of setting on there where I can't just keep logging on like I do on the computer. So I have to be in the office. But to tell you the truth, it would be nice to be somewhere else in my house, you know, like in the kitchen or somewhere else other than always in the office, because different rooms and stuff mean different things to me anyway. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to the office, I'm getting ready to do some work. You know, but sometimes I do have a snack or turn the TV on and watch. Like I listen to stuff in the background. Like, I don't know. I listen to like, what is it? Not The Biggest Loser. What was I thinking about? I can't think of the show right now. Oh, that's what it is. It's the show where 90 Day Fiance. That's what to it because I cannot really pay attention to it, but it drags, and that's good because then I can kind of here and there I might look. I know what's going on because you know what I mean. Like I'm listening, but I can kind of hear it in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Fear Factor, American, or not Fear Factor, but American Idol, or yeah, like shows like that where you can kind of listen. The only problem is sometimes you hear a voice so good.
Yeah, right.
You know, who is that? You know what I'm saying? A really good voice. I'd be like over here in tears.
But you know what? I also don't watch that much TV. Just because, see, after dinner during this time, like what I'm doing is preparing the post for the next day. And I put the news sometimes or something, but I don't really watch it until I go to bed, which is soon.
Okay.
We watch Netflix, my husband and I, we always watch some show in Netflix. And that's kind of like our ritual. We do that and then, we share that time together. But in here, I'm in my posh room. I don't have TV. I only have the computer if I need it and my cell phone because that's my working tool.
Better not to. It is. I think it's a bad habit for me to even do it because sometimes it does throw me off. I'm going to be honest. Oh my God, that voice or whatever. And then now I'm not doing what I set out to do. So I'm saying, but sometimes I just get bored of just being like pretty much.
Yeah.
So, another
music too. Do you like to put music on the background? Because I do that too.
That's what I was going to say. Sometimes what I'll do is do music and don't try to pick the music that's just like jazz or no words because I don't want to be thinking about nothing that they're saying while I'm working. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to listen to some relaxing music, jazz or something, and that's it. Something that's relaxing. So that way, I don't know, it helps you. I don't know. Sometimes you want to listen to something upbeat. Every now and again, look, I need to wake up. Let me listen to this first. And then you can go into your, okay, I'm up. I can listen to jazz or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So listen to music definitely helps. Patrick said, yep, that's why I'm here working in the background. Sub this morning. Thank you for the sub. And popped in to show some support. I was in like a chat this morning that just happened to pop up on my phone. I probably was in somebody else's chat one day and I had subbed to their channel and it popped up and that chat was great. So I'm just going to say, you should join some other people's chat, especially if you're trying to build on your YouTube, just because I didn't know there was so many other people. You get in your zone and you like, dang, it's actually a lot of us out here that are trying to build and we can just support one another. Then why not? You know what I mean? So I actually go to their channel and watch some of their video, or at least one. And you may not have time to watch everybody's stuff. Yeah. If you're building, like I said, you want to support, you want to support, so you get, but you learn things too that way. Like you was just there for support, and then you end up actually learning something new. That's right. But Veronica says, I think between working full time, mommy full time, and then reselling and YouTubing part time, my plate is full enough. My full time job takes up way too much time. When I tell you, when I was working full time, I don't think I was listening at that time. Like I was still doing it, but I really wasn't listening very much. Like, so I actually commend the people that do, please. I'm trying to go kick it. No, I'm trying to go have a life. I try to get so I can go and enjoy time with family or something. Because again, it's that work-life balance. So that's why I try to do so much during the week. And then something.
You know what I do? I didn't do this before. I would sometimes tell my kids, no, we're not doing that. I'm doing this. But lately, I've just been saying yes. I will cancel whatever I was thinking of doing, and I will just go and do it with them. You know what I mean? Like my youngest one, he loves sometimes to go on hikes, and I cancel everything and say, okay, we can go. Because at the end of the day, they are the reason why. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, I love my friends. I'm not saying that, I love you guys and everything. But, he's not going to be here soon. I mean, he's going to be leaving. And what about all that time that I didn't get to spend with him? And sometimes you have to prioritize, like I said before, and sometimes family comes first. And right? And sometimes husband too. Like,
Right.
they need time. Like you want time from them, so you have to give them time too. So it cannot but all be like you and not.
That's true. You can't forget that. And I think I've had times where I definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of, it's not that you forgot. You just were into what you were doing. And then you were like, oh, man, like it's been pretty much all day and I haven't done this, or we haven't even went out and done, whatever, So you have to remember to integrate that in and just plan it in. That's why I know a lot of people have a cutoff, like, that don't, like me personally, I have a cutoff. I generally cut it off at 6.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. I know this weekend, trying to get those last listings in, I overextended myself yesterday. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I did yesterday, and then today I had too many things on my schedule to be able to finish the drafts and stuff. But I finished, like, I washed them. All the photos are done. And they're all in the system. I just have to sit down and actually list them now. So tomorrow I have 30 listings that I could push out tomorrow that are ready to go. I just couldn't do them today. I was just like, I had appointments. I had stuff to do. I just didn't have a way. This is what I'm talking about, though. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. And like you said, you can't beat yourself up when you can't your schedule or whatever, because my schedule didn't really say that. I really had wanted to do more, but it just wasn't, it just wasn't feasible for it to.
We are human beings. We're not robots. And we need time to also, calm down, like you say, meditate, pray, whatever you do to just
exactly
and feel good. So that's part of life.
I'm gonna let you get off here, lady, but I wanted to leave everybody with one last thing from Rosalyn or Rosalyn. I don't know how
it's okay.
Pronounce it all together or not. I just like the Rosa name, though. I like Rosa.
Yeah, my mom name is Rosa, so it's like mine is Rosalyn, but yeah, it comes from Rosa from my mom. So yeah.
But yeah, I wanted what you wanted to leave everybody with, like, or if it was somebody new, maybe, what tip would you give them to reselling or just to entrepreneurship in general? Like, I don't know. I mean, or just a tip for life. You could do that too. Balance.
Well, knowing me, I always combine everything. So I will say this. First of all, to start reselling, you don't need a lot and you don't need to invest money, right? Start with what you have and then work with that. And also, yes, it's good to have goals, like Brittany was saying, but you also have to learn how to rest, right? You need to, because if you don't rest, your body is probably gonna remind you somehow, right? So I think it's very important to take care of yourself. And yes, you can write those goals and you can go after them. But if you're not okay mentally and you overwork yourself, then something is gonna go wrong, right? Even the relationship with your family, or your health. So I think, yes, keep those goals definitely, but just take it day by day. Whatever is not done today, it will be done tomorrow, and it's not gonna be the end of the world, right? Nothing is gonna change, believe me. So be kind to yourself.
Yes.
And just put your priority first. Like especially family, don't take too much of their time. I learned that 2020 taught me a lot about, you never know when you're not gonna have them anymore, or you won't be able to see them. So enjoy as much as you can. Yes, I know we all want to be this boss ladies and all. Yeah, but in reality, you have to put the priority. Like, I know for most of our family is what we are here, right? They are the reason we breathe and we're happy, right? If they're happy, we're happy. So don't forget that. And thank you so much to Brittany. Please give her a thumbs up, subscribe, and do the right thing. Thank you so much for having me. I love your personality. You're such a joy to talk to. I don't feel judged or anything. So I love that. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. Thank you all, everybody that's in the chat that joined and took the time, because I know time is one of our most valuable resources. So I do want to say thank you so much for tuning in and listening in and just joining this chat tonight. I will be back on here again, like I said, tomorrow night for Success is a Mindset at 7 p.m. Just a reminder, I'm trying to get better at marketing myself.
Tomorrow, let's go support Brittany and Terry. Come on.
Yes, okay, good. Look, I need you as a moderator. Anyways, bye-bye.
Bye, thank you so much.
You're welcome.